It is that time of the Gamescast where we ask the question of the week. And this is a first world problems question, especially with Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Mass Effect Andromeda being released within 3 weeks from each other. So my question to you is, what type of gamer are you? Are you a completionist? Do you try and play as many games as possible? Do you just beat the games? What type of gamer are you? And Mo, we got a hint a little bit, as in you try to play as many games. How do you balance all those games, and do you beat any of those games?
I do beat all the games that I start. Some take me a little bit longer than others. It really depends on the game. For instance, Final Fantasy, the
Which one?
The one that just came out.
15?
Yeah, I still have that one sitting. I'm barely into like chapter 3 or so. Just because of the release of Battlefield and all the stuff that came out.
Which was your game of the year?
Yeah, I love Battlefield, and I'm still playing it, But as far as storylines go, right now I am doing a lot of the storyline games. Between Zelda, Yakuza, and I'm going to jump into Final Fantasy again just to get it going. For me, it really depends on the day and how I'm feeling and the pacing. That's how I base off what game I'm going to play that night. I do this a lot where I'll start a multiplayer game and I'll just, play a few rounds because I get a lot of invites online.
Aren't you the popular one?
It happens. So
No, it doesn't.
And depending on how many invites and if I get tired and I'm just like, all right, time to slow it down, I'll jump into a single player game. So I play a little bit multiplayer and then I jump into single player. I give about, depending on how much fun I'm having on multiplayer games with whatever squad I got going. If I have a good squad and I'm doing ranked, then yeah, it's going to take me a few hours. So I'll give it about maybe 2 to 3 hours for multiplayer. And eventually I'll get tired, and I know that I get tired because I'll start losing. Then I'll jump into a single player, into like a storyline driven game, so I can slow down the pace.
How did you balance Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1?
That was tough. That was really tough. I actually finished Battlefield 1 storyline, and then I ended up picking up Titanfall 2 because it just went on sale. Unfortunately, I know
Very
why.
quickly.
Unfortunately, I know why it went on sale.
From like 60 to 40 in a few weeks.
I just binged the hell out of Titanfall 2 after finishing Battlefield 1 storyline. And then I started playing both multiplayers. And then I know that the multiplayer on Titanfall 2 is faster paced. It's just fast. Everything's fast. So I would actually jump into Battlefield 1 multiplayer because it's a little bit
slower.
Yeah, it's strategic. So that was the big opposite.
So which year do you think you'll beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? 2018?
It's this year because I'm still
2019?
playing it. I still give it like a good 2 to 3 hours. Some days that's all I play. So it really depends.
And Final Fantasy 15, beat it before Final Fantasy 16?
That's going to take me forever, I think. That game's going to take me a while.
Well, you'll have time. A new one comes out every 5 years.
Yeah,
so
it's true. So
3 years of delays.
When I get there. It's I started Final Fantasy 15 and then I didn't know that it was going to have so many side quests. I was not expecting that. And then it did the same thing that Skyrim did to me, where I started doing all the goddamn side quests and just never got to the main storyline.
And you're a PlayStation player. Do you care about trophies? Do you play games and try to get them on purpose and know what type of trophies there are?
You know what? For me, it depends on the game. Because, like Yakuza, I guarantee I'm going to 100% the whole thing, get every trophy. Just because I know they give you different stats. They give you... it helps to improve your gameplay so you don't get killed as fast and you get one-ups on some of the mini games that help you get trophies. It helps some of the side quests as well. It continues some of the stories. So I will be 100% in that game. But games like that, they're story-based driven that I do kind of have a history with. Because I've played every single one. Then yeah, I'm going to 100%. Especially because I 100%ed each one of those games. So
impressive. Is there 5 of them?
They released number 6 in Japan and it hasn't made its crossover over here yet. So this is considered like the prequel to all of them. So this would be the 6th game here in the States. There was a one-off where they did some sort of crossover with zombies, but it just wasn't for me. It wasn't like original Yakuza, you know.
Yeah, because I have no idea how you do it and balance all those games. But again, it's based off the mood.
Yeah,
you know what mood you're in when you're on your way home from work. You know what game do you
Pretty
feel like
much,
playing.
Yeah. And if I've had a bad day at work, then yes, I will be killing people online and then teabagging them and whatever the fuck else I want to do.
Head shake.
Yeah, but now I went from the teabag to the head shake where they do the kill Kim and I just do the shouldn't have tried it. Like it's an asshole move, but it's
You asshole.
I don't know. Everybody teabags, so I started doing my own thing.
And Rich, what type of gamer are you? Are you a completionist? Are you like Mo, play as many games as possible?
Depends on my mood. Kind of like Mo. I like to complete things, but if there's a storyline reason, like Mo was saying, in the early Assassin's Creed games, if you'd collect all the feathers and stuff, you get special weapons or moves, different advantages. If it's just to collect things, to collect them, I don't like that. I get frustrated with that.
What's an example of that? Do you have an example? What type of game?
In the 3rd Assassin's Creed, because you're on the pirate ship, you could go out and you would collect sea shanties, and you have your crew on the ship, and as you collected new ones, they would randomly play. So the more you would go out and collect, the more variety in that. But it didn't do anything for the game other than maybe break up all your voyages on the sea. So I didn't get all of those.
But I know for Batman, like the Riddler trophies, those something that you collected.
Yeah, so you get extra footage, like an extended cut of the final cutscene, which is the end of the series. So it gives you a little bit more information, teasing potential for some furtherance of the story. So you want to collect everything so that you have not just that encounter with the Riddler when you finally catch him, but you have the expanded ending. So it's the director's cut.
So how do you decide how to balance your games?
I usually, because again, I'm story based, so it's one of those, if I'm halfway through a murder mystery, I wouldn't be able to finish. I have to go all the way to the end, even if it's a bad one. A lot of times I still just want to realize, okay, the butler did do it, just like I thought the whole time. Let's get there. So I go through that. But if it's very frustrating, like Batman, I cared enough that I actually downloaded that extended ending on YouTube so I could watch it. I knew where the story was going. But I have 3 trophies that I just, for whatever reason, I just don't have the skill to get them, or I haven't figured out what the trick is. And those are ones where I didn't download videos to try to figure it out, so...
Because I know, like, in Halo, I know you've been a huge Halo fan. You collected all the skulls?
In the first one, most of them in the second one, but then I don't play multiplayer, so... By then I didn't... Because they give you an advantage. They give you different either advantages or disadvantages that improve your score, or make it harder for you to complete, which will up your score there, or sometimes they'll make it easier or just fun. Like there was one, if you do a headshot on a grunt, you get fireworks kind of pop off. That was a funny little thing that you could add to the game. So.
And what percentage were you in the original Watch Dogs? Do you know? Because I know you're doing side missions.
I did most everything, but I didn't finish all the smash and grab contracts.
Slacker.
No, where you had to, remember how you had to like capture the car, and then
Yeah.
some of them you could kill the guy, and other ones you had to knock him out, but you're in the middle of a firefight with 6 cars filled with enforcers. No, I just decided, once I collected the weapons and stuff that you get from moving up that ranking, but I didn't get the achievement for the full, I didn't finish the whole tree there, so.
And are you able to play multiple games all at once? Is that something? Because I know you don't open your games. I know I mentioned before, maybe in the last episode.
I do open my game, that's what you think is that I don't
They're all
open my
packaged.
games. They're not.
They're still wrapping.
They are absolutely not. That's not a thing.
They still have the
the
$59.99 price tag on
and the
them in the corner.
cellophane, and that's not true at all.
What is the truth?
No, but I have the stack of the games that I want to get to, but I shuffle what I'm going to play sometimes by mood, or things like Mass Effect. If I'm really enjoying Shadow of Mordor, I'm about 30% in. But guess what? I'm going to play Mass Effect, so I'm dropping it, and I know I'm going to have to pick up and get back to the rhythm of fighting a group of orcs, but...
You have until August.
It doesn't matter. I'm still going to have to pick up that whole technique again, because it's going to be minimized as I'm playing through Mass Effect, and I might even play through it twice. I want to see what the story is for both of the Ryder twins. I want to play it more straight-laced and then more casual, where you're, I guess the Renegade is how we would refer to it if it's the original trilogy, but... I want to try both of those. I don't know that I'll do them back to back, but it's an idea.
And you still play games for achievements. What is your achievement score?
I think 75,200, something like that.
75,200.
Right
and
around there.
Do you play games specifically to get achievements?
No, I'm not a whore. No. That's what it's referred to as an achievement whore. That's what you're referring to. No, I've never gotten one of those. When the first round of achievements came out with the 360, I think one of the big ones was for like Avatar, and it was you just spam the finishing move or the third special attack or whatever, and you do that, and if you do that for 15 minutes, basically you go through the whole thing, and 1,000 achievement points. You look at my list. You're not going to see that on there because I didn't get it. I'm aware of it. Didn't do it. But I was one of those guys that when I could pick up a game cheaply, like I bought those Burger King games when they were doing that whole thing. I didn't get all the achievements off of them, but I went pretty far until I got bored with how crappy they were.
For what, 20 minutes? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. But you could, if they would give you, like, I think it was like 300, I probably had 100 on each of those 2 or 3 games that they put out. There was like a go-kart one or a bumper cars or something like that, and then one that was like a stealth game, and then a fighting game. So
Still based off your mood.
Yeah.
For me, as I mentioned before, I am a one game kind of guy. I don't cheat on my games. I focus all my resources in one game, beat it, go to the next. I don't buy my next game until that one is completed. I know I mentioned before, maybe in the lost episodes, maybe we'll post those sometime.
The lost episodes.
The lost episodes where I mentioned...
No, this is episode 3. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what I'm talking about either. That's why they're lost.
So you're a one hit and quit, huh?
I'm hit and quit. And that is true, actually. I'm hit and quit. I never play the game
You
ever
never
again.
sell back games, though, either.
I do not.
See?
I have my collection of all my games since...
What about you, Mo? Do you sell back?
No.
Me neither.
No.
We're just hoarders.
I
We're game hoarders.
like to keep good classic games. That's my thing.
What about the bad games?
I haven't-
You keep those, too, though.
I haven't had a bad game. All the experiences that I bought have been good. When I was a kid, when I was younger, yeah, I had games because there was like no like great reviews or anything on those games. But those were probably...
You didn't have a Nintendo Power?
No. No, I'm waiting for a Nintendo Power. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's all about Nintendo Power. What about strategy guides? Do you guys use strategy guides for your games?
No. I think the last strategy guide that I bought was probably Skyrim because it was practically free.
That was about 1,000 pages.
Yeah, it was practically free. So
I have the Skyrim strategy guide.
That's the same
in the
one
back.
I got. But I didn't even I didn't pay full price. It was like a good $5 or something because of my points or whatever, and they utilized that. So I didn't even. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, throw it in there. That has to be the last strategy guide I bought. I was
Skyrim?
thinking about picking up the one for Dark Souls 3, but didn't get around to it.
And
I like to discover things. So
And Rich, are you strategy guide? Do you buy one for Mass Effect?
Yes, but I don't get it until Friday because of shipping. Yeah.
wow.
So you get your game and no strategy
No,
guide.
well, and I'm going to play through it multiple times, so
okay.
that is one of those things that there's going to be things that I missed or a quest or an item or something. Tell me that. I'm more into the maps. A lot of times you can get a lot of information off of that. But if it comes to gameplay technique and stuff, like I said with the Batman game, I know there's game walkthroughs that I could watch to figure out how to do those Batarang things that are stopping me from getting those 3 trophies. I won't watch them because I'm trying to figure it out. That's part of why I haven't finished it. Yeah. I know it's out there. I just don't do it because it's not that I think it's cheating. That's not where I get the excitement of figuring it out. I want to be able to solve that. Where a lot of times in these role-playing games, there's some weird character you didn't realize. You pass him the first 3 days of the story, and then on the 4th day, all of a sudden he's got a quest. But there's no icon to kind of let you know that when you talk to him this time, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I was going to mention, I got this fetch quest for you," and it leads towards the Master Sword or whatever.
You know, a game like that did that a lot was Bloodborne. Because sometimes you would go into a certain location, and the character would just ignore the fuck out of you until you did a certain thing. And then
then all of a sudden, there you are, traveler.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I'll talk to you now. You're worth my time. Yeah. But then Bloodborne did it so differently that where you actually would end up in two places. You would end up helping them. You would have like three different things would happen. You would end up helping them, and then they would give you their armor and their weapons and so forth, or you would end up fighting them, and then it branches off into a whole different storyline. And that was pretty good with Bloodborne. But yeah, that's same thing that you're talking about. Just what happened in that game.
Yeah, the games I get strategy guide for are the RPGs, such as like The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Elder Scrolls, Mass Effect, Andromeda. I'll get strategy guide. Obviously, these are half of my strategy guides that I have on the wall. But me, I've always been like this. Just one game at a time. I just want to play as much as I can, and then I never play it again. I put it in, but I still save them. That's what I did with Legend of Zelda. With Breath of the Wild, I've been playing a lot of that in the last 3 weeks. I'm at the end. I just got the Master Sword. I'm in time. My deadline was to get it by... I know, a deadline. First world problems, right? Wow. It's a rough life. I set deadlines for myself for video games. It's another job in itself. I'm going to fail. I'm going to get fired from the boss and not hitting my deadline. So I can play Mass Effect this week. But if, depending on how far I got, I might have bought Mass Effect anyways. Because, again, it's one of my top 3 franchises of all time that I love. Same thing with, there's always one game every fall that I do buy that I don't beat until the following summer. Because there's always the holiday times, I get busy. Last fall was Watch Dogs 2. Again, I bought it day one, launch, played it one night, like for 2 hours, and then I didn't get back to it again. But my intentions will be to beat it this summer. The fall before was Fallout 4. I beat, and again, didn't have time. I beat it then the following summer. The game before was Dragon Age Inquisition.
That was a long game, though. That's a long game.
Yeah, same with Fallout. Yeah, those are long games.
Yeah.
Again, Dragon Age took me 70 hours. I played like 12 hours, and I got that launch day, like that holiday, and I didn't play it for about, 8 months. And then I play it over the summer. But other than that, I always play a game, I beat it, I go to the next one. And completionist, I think as I got older, I started not to care as much about completing the game. I didn't have enough time as I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Such as Legend of Zelda. I've beaten every single console game except Majora's Mask. I've never played, but I've gotten every single heart container in every single Zelda game. So I was full, got all the heart containers. Mass Effect, I did all the side quests. Once the games got large, like Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, and Skyrim, it's hard to 100% that. There's so many side quests. So I always do the main story and then the secondary quests, like all the the guilds. All the 4 guilds. Yeah. I always go through the guilds, do secondary quests through the towns, but then that's it. Same with The Witcher 3. Do the main quest, do the side quests. The last game I really 100%ed was Shadow of Mordor. Got 100%. Again, that was 35 hours. Watch Dogs. And Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm about ready to beat the game, and I've done 32 shrines out of 120. So I have a lot of work to do, and my intention is to complete all 120 of them. Because, again, I want to keep and get every single heart and stamina to increase. But for some reason, since I was young, I've always just focused one game, beat it, go to the next one, play as much as possible. Which kind of sucks because, again, those great games, for me to go back to, which I'll probably go back to Breath of the Wild. I'm picking up Mass Effect Andromeda, play that, and then go back to Zelda, complete all the other shrines. Yeah. So with the gaming, how has your gaming changed, like within the last 5 years? Has it stayed the same, being a gamer?
It actually changed for me. I didn't used to play this many games. Like, I was that person that would do the one and stop. But then,
So you went from hit it to quit it to...
Just all out.
Doors open, all out?
It was all out warfare for me. But, yeah, that did change. I did notice that. That I would pick up certain games and then... I would just be in the middle of one and then jump into the other one and go in the middle of that one. It's surprising to me because the question you asked earlier about the Battlefield and Titanfall, like Titanfall's storyline was not, it wasn't that large. It wasn't long. I think I finished it under the minimum, which was like what eight 8 hours maybe.
Around there.
Yeah, around 8 hours. So I beat the campaign in like maybe two days. I want to say 2 days. Took me. I played the full 4 hours because I was so like captivated by it.
And Mo, with Battlefield 1, I actually loved the story in Battlefield 1, but I loved the gameplay in Titanfall 2.
Yeah. It was that was similar to me for me too. Like Battlefield 1 story was so captivating. It was almost like I don't know. You want to say cinematographic in a way? It had like a good like movie feel to it a little bit.
I can see that.
Going from like storyline to storyline. And Titanfall 2 story was just it was cool. It was cool what they did. So I don't want to spoil a lot of things. So I don't know if anybody's gonna pick it up in the future. I don't know, but especially because
he gets in the Titan, right?
Well, of course.
Spoiler alert.
Does he get knocked over?
Sure, why not?
Does that would explain why it's a Titanfall?
Aww. That's the story to Titanfall 3. He falls over.
That's
Just
it.
wrote that.
Yeah.
Trademarked, copywritten.
The final fall. Titanfall 3.
The fine fall. Somebody comes in, bitch, you tripping.
And Rich, how has your gaming habits changed?
I got a lot less time, so it's hard to sit down because I was a guy that if I was playing, I'd do a good 3-4 hour session. Now it's try to find 20 minutes here and there, so that's really tough with story driven.
And is that why you've transitioned to cell phone, like playing your Star Wars game?
That's part of it, yeah.
It's very quick.
Because if I get interrupted with a phone call and stuff like that, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Because those are a lot of times they're just gameplay. There's not story involved, so I don't feel like I missed anything. If I have to shift into something else, all of a sudden I'm putting out some kind of fire, or I'm answering a request or something. I don't feel like I had to take myself out of one kind of reality and go to the other. Where if I'm in the middle of Mass Effect, someone calls me with some horror story about what's going on, then I can't separate the two.
Don't
easily
answer the
and
phone.
Get back to it.
Mass Effect.
I don't have that option, but
yeah. So that's a little bit about what type of gamers we are. Please let us know in the comments if you're a completionist, if you're a game whore, or if you're a hit it and quit it kind of gamer.